Listen carefully. Pressure is not your enemy. Panic is. Most people fold when the heat rises. They crumble when life tightens its grip. They make excuses, lash out, or freeze. And in that single moment, the moment where everything is decided, they lose. Not because they were not capable, not because they lacked resources, but because they failed to stay calm when it mattered most. The world does not belong to the loudest. It does not belong to the fastest. It does not belong to the strongest. It belongs to the calm, to the ones who can stand in the fire without flinching, to the ones who can slow their breath, steady their hand, and see clearly when everyone else goes blind. Think about a soldier in battle. Think about a surgeon with a patient's life in their hands. Think about an entrepreneur staring down a collapsing business. These people do not succeed by sheer muscle. They succeed by clarity, by control, by calm. Here is the truth. Your ability to stay calm under pressure is the ultimate game changer. It separates leaders from followers, winners from losers, the remembered from the forgotten. Society lies to you. It tells you success is about being the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. But look around. History is filled with geniuses who never broke through, athletes who never fulfilled their promise, entrepreneurs who cracked under stress. Why? Because talent is useless without composure. Intelligence collapses under fear. Strength dissolves into chaos when pressure hits. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." He understood something timeless. The external world does not break you. Your reaction to it does. Pressure is inevitable. The economy will crash. People will betray you. Plans will collapse. Deadlines will suffocate you. But none of that matters if you can remain steady when others lose themselves. Calm is power. Calm is leverage. Calm is your anchor in the storm. And let us make this personal. Think about your own life. How many times have you made things worse because you panicked? How many times did anger, fear, or anxiety turn a small setback into a disaster? Now imagine if, in those moments, you were calm, unshaken, clear. How different would your life look right now? Comment this now. I do not break under pressure. I master it. Here is the first lesson. Pressure is an illusion. Carl Jung once said, "Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. Pressure only exists because you believe something is at stake. You think losing that job is the end. You think failing that exam defines you. You think rejection destroys your worth. But pressure is just your mind exaggerating the weight of the moment." The calm individual sees through this illusion. They do not deny the stakes. They simply refuse to let fear distort their vision. To them, the battlefield slows down. The noise fades. Every decision is made with precision. That is why legends rise in crisis. Napoleon said he wanted generals who were lucky. What he really meant was he wanted men who did not collapse when chaos struck. Men who created their own luck by staying composed while others fell apart. Pressure exposes you. It reveals whether you are controlled by the world or whether you control yourself. Make no mistake, panic is a disease. It spreads fast, it is contagious, and it destroys opportunity. When you panic, you magnify problems. A challenge becomes a catastrophe. A minor loss becomes a tragedy. Your mind races, your breathing shortens, and suddenly you are not making decisions. You are reacting like an animal cornered. Machiavelli warned that the one who adapts his policy to the times prospers, and likewise the one whose policy clashes with the demands of the times does not. Panic blinds you to what the moment demands. Calm allows adaptation. Calm allows strategy. Think of the stock market crash of 2008. Some lost everything because they panicked, selling in chaos. Others, calm, strategic, disciplined, became billionaires because they saw opportunity while everyone else drowned in fear. Same storm, different outcome. The variable was composure. So here is the harsh truth. Every time you panic, you pay for it. You lose time. You lose respect. You lose opportunities. And worst of all, you lose yourself. Comment this now. I do not chase respect. I command it. Now listen. I am not here to hand you cliches about staying positive or breathing deeply. That is child's play. I am here to break down the philosophy, the psychology, and the brutal reality of staying calm under pressure. Because if you master this, everything changes. Your career elevated, your relationships stronger, your confidence untouchable. People will look at you differently. They will feel your presence before you even speak. This is not about pretending to be calm. It is about becoming calm, building an unshakable foundation so deep that storms only make you sharper. By the end of this, you will not just understand calm, you will embody it. You will walk into chaos and people will whisper, "How is he so composed?" And let me be clear. Calm is not passivity. Calm is not weakness. Calm is controlled aggression. Calm is the blade sharpened by restraint. Calm is the lion resting in silence before it pounces. That is what we are building here. But before I dive into the principles, let me say this. If you have felt even a spark of truth in what I have said so far, hit that like button, subscribe right now. Because what comes next is not motivational fluff. It is the blueprint. And if you miss it, you will keep living like everyone else, reactive, unstable, fragile. But if you stay, you will learn to bend pressure into power. And trust me, this next part is where it gets heavy. Calm under pressure is not something you are born with. It is something you forge. You build it in silence, in discipline, in training, long before the storm arrives. By the time others panic, you are already steady, because you have conditioned yourself to be unshakable. The first principle is control over breath. You cannot control the world, but you can control the rhythm of your lungs. When chaos surrounds you, your body's first reaction is to shorten the breath, to panic, to tighten. But the master of calm knows this is the signal. When the body tries to rush, you slow it down. A long inhale, a slow exhale, a deliberate rhythm. The breath becomes an anchor, and with that anchor, you reclaim clarity. Think of Marcus Aurelius again. He wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Breath is the bridge between body and mind. Control it, and the outside world cannot drag you into disorder. Now let us move deeper. Calm under pressure requires detachment. You cannot fight panic if you are enslaved by outcomes. Most people lose their composure because they cling too tightly to what they cannot fully control. They panic because they fear loss, they fear embarrassment, they fear rejection. But fear is just attachment to an outcome. The calm individual releases the grip. They focus on action, not on what the world gives back. Like a stoic, they accept what happens as it comes, and they focus only on what is in their control. That is how the soldier marches forward without hesitation. That is how the entrepreneur risks everything without trembling. That is how the surgeon cuts with precision even when a mistake could cost a life. Detachment is not carelessness, it is freedom. Comment this now. I control my actions, not the outcome. The next principle is presence. Panic is the mind running ahead into the future or stumbling backward into the past. Calm lives in the now. You have to cut off the noise, cut off the projections, cut off the endless what if. Right now is all there is. Arthur Schopenhauer said, "Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world." Panic narrows that vision. You start seeing only catastrophe. Calm expands it. You see the entire field. You recognize the options. You realize the problem is smaller than your mind imagined. Presence is a weapon. In negotiation, the one who is most present reads the room better. In conflict, the one who is most present anticipates the strike. In business, the one who is most present sees opportunities others overlook. The calm are not only stable, they are sharper, more dangerous, more effective. Now, let us speak of preparation. Calm under pressure does not appear magically in the crisis. It is built long before the crisis arrives. The man who trains his body daily is calm when challenged physically. The man who trains his mind with books, strategy, and philosophy is calm when confronted with chaos. The unprepared collapse because they enter battle with nothing in reserve. The prepared breathe slower, think clearer, because they know they have sharpened themselves in advance. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Preparation is not just about skill, it is about meaning. If you carry a purpose, pressure cannot break you. You endure because the why is greater than the storm. Comment this now. My purpose makes me unbreakable. Another principle, control of ego. Panic is often born not from real danger, but from the fragile ego screaming inside. You panic when you think you look foolish. You panic when someone doubts you. You panic when your pride is touched. But the calm individual kills the ego before the ego kills them. Machiavelli understood this when he wrote that a ruler must appear confident, but internally must remain calculating. The ego wants you to prove something. Calm wants you to win. Ego blinds. Calm sees. Ego makes you emotional. Calm makes you precise. If you wish to command others, first command yourself. The fifth principle is reframing pressure into opportunity. This is the true difference between the fragile and the strong. Most see pressure as a threat. The calm individual sees pressure as the arena where greatness is forged. The athlete does not curse the final seconds, he thrives on them. The leader does not shrink when the team collapses. He rises because now his strength is visible. The entrepreneur does not panic in crisis. He creates because crisis gives him an advantage over weaker competitors. Voltaire said, "Man is free at the instant he wants to be." Freedom is choosing how to interpret the storm. You are either crushed by it, or you are defined by it. Let us not forget discipline. Calm is not softness. Calm is steel forged in consistency. Discipline in small things prepares you for composure in great things. If you live scattered, distracted, careless in the little moments, how can you expect calm in the great battles? The one who disciplines his diet, his sleep, his work, his habits, builds an inner fortress. The storm may rage, but he is steady, because discipline has made calm his natural state. Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Discipline is the act of making conscious choices, turning chaos into order, and building a self that does not betray you when pressure arrives. Comment this now. I build calm through discipline. You can see now that calm under pressure is not luck, it is design. It is built principle by principle, habit by habit, battle by battle. It is forged in how you breathe, how you detach, how you stay present, how you prepare, how you crush ego, how you reframe, how you discipline. And this is just the beginning, because once you build these foundations, you become untouchable. People will test you. They will expect you to snap, to crumble, to lose yourself. And when you remain calm, you break them, you strip them of power, you expose their weakness while standing unshaken in your strength. That is why calm is the ultimate game changer. It is not simply survival, it is domination. Calm is the difference between reacting and conquering. If you feel this hitting you, if you feel the truth cutting through, pause and subscribe right now. Like this video, because what comes next will go even deeper. What I have given you so far is the foundation, but in the next part, I will show you how calm under pressure does not just keep you steady, it gives you the ability to bend chaos itself to your will. That is the level few reach, and if you are still here, it means you are ready for it. Calm under pressure is more than survival. It is transformation. Once you have built the foundations, calm becomes more than self-control. It becomes a weapon. A weapon so sharp that others do not even realize they are being cut by it until it is too late. When everyone else is panicking, you are not just holding your ground, you are advancing. You are using their fear as leverage. Calm makes you untouchable, but it also makes you powerful, because people instinctively follow the one who is steady when the storm hits. Think of history's great leaders: Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon, Alexander facing armies far larger than his own, Churchill standing against the collapse of Europe. What gave them power was not just strategy or skill, it was the fact that when everyone else was drowning in fear, they radiated certainty. Their calm became contagious. Their presence itself became a weapon. The calm individual commands the room without needing to raise his voice. He is unhurried. He is deliberate. He does not flinch when challenged, and because of that, the challenger begins to question himself. Calm creates psychological dominance. Carl Jung explained this dynamic when he said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." In every interaction, someone will set the tone. If you panic, if you are frantic, you hand that control away. If you are calm, you force the other to adapt to you. Calm makes you the center of gravity. Comment this now: I am the calm that controls the storm. Another layer of calm mastery is anticipation. Most people only react. They are dragged by events. They wait for the world to dictate their mood. The calm individual, however, is already ahead. He has anticipated pressure. He has rehearsed it in his mind. He has visualized the worst possible scenario, accepted it, and prepared for it. When it arrives, he is already familiar with it, and so he does not panic. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, practiced this constantly. He imagined poverty, loss, betrayal, and death, so that when hardship came, he did not collapse. He was calm because nothing surprised him. To him, pressure was already conquered in the mind before it appeared in reality. Calm under pressure also unlocks clarity in decision-making. Understand this truth: panic makes the smallest problem look enormous. Calm makes the largest problem look manageable. When you are calm, you see details others miss. You notice opportunities hidden in chaos. That is why calm individuals often rise above their peers in moments of crisis. They see while others are blind. Think of a chess master. The novice sees only the next move, reacting in panic to each threat. The master is calm, seeing 10 moves ahead, and in his composure, the game bends to his will. Life is no different. Pressure is simply the board, and calm is the ability to see patterns others cannot. Let us speak about influence. People trust the calm. In business, in relationships, in leadership, those who remain calm under pressure gain authority without demanding it. When chaos erupts in an organization, employees turn to the one who is steady. When a family faces hardship, they look to the one who does not lose himself. Calm creates reliance, and reliance creates power. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But the truly calm individual commands both. They inspire loyalty through steadiness, and they inspire fear because their composure is unshakable. You cannot manipulate a man who does not panic. You cannot control a man who does not react emotionally. Calm makes you untouchable to both enemies and allies alike. Comment this now. My calm makes me untouchable. Another layer of mastery is controlled aggression. Calm is not passive. Calm is power stored, not wasted. Think of the lion resting under the tree. It is still, not because it is weak, but because it knows it does not need to move until the exact moment. When it moves, it strikes with precision. That is calm under pressure. It is not silence out of fear. It is silence out of control. Voltaire said, "The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater their power is to harm us." Controlled aggression means you refuse to dwell on fear or weakness. You wait, you conserve. You strike at the moment that matters most. Calm gives you the patience to wait and the sharpness to act. Calm under pressure also creates aura. People sense it before you even speak. In negotiation, the calm man is feared because no one knows what he is thinking. In competition, the calm man is respected because he never shows desperation. In leadership, the calm man is trusted because he radiates stability. Your calm becomes energy others can feel, and that energy changes the room. Arthur Schopenhauer wrote, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see." Calm is that genius. It lets you see what no one else can, because you are not blinded by fear, anger, or ego. When you are calm, you are not only playing the same game as everyone else, you are playing a higher one. Understand this. Calm under pressure is not simply about keeping yourself together. It is about bending reality in your favor. When the world is spinning, the calm individual stands still, and the world adjusts to him. When others are drowning, the calm individual floats, and others cling to him. Calm is gravitational. It pulls the world into your orbit. Nietzsche once declared, "Become who you are." To become who you are requires that you peel away the weakness, the panic, the fragility, until all that is left is the core. That core is calm. That core is unshakable, and when you operate from that core, you are unstoppable. If you have followed this far, you understand now that calm under pressure is the ultimate game changer. It gives you clarity, power, dominance, presence, influence, and freedom. It turns you into a leader in crisis, a strategist in chaos, a force that cannot be moved. And if this is striking you, if you feel the shift happening as you hear this, then like this video and subscribe now. Because in the final part, I will give you the closing principles, the synthesis of everything, the ultimate call to action that will push you into living this, not just hearing it. The first three parts have built the philosophy. The final part will forge it into your reality. Calm under pressure is the final test of strength. Not the gym, not the bank account, not the applause of the crowd. All of that collapses when you panic. But if you remain calm, you can rebuild, you can adapt, you can conquer again and again. Understand this clearly. The world respects composure. The world bows to those who cannot be shaken. When you are calm, you are trusted. When you are calm, you are feared. When you are calm, you are followed. Calm is not the absence of power. Calm is the essence of power. So the challenge is this: stop letting the world dictate your state. Stop giving away control every time life pushes you. The storm will come, the pressure will rise, but from now on, you will not collapse, you will not panic, you will not break, you will be calm. And because you are calm, you will win. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the key, that is the ultimate weapon. You are unshakable when you decide to be." Comment this now: I am calm, I am powerful, I am unshakable. If this has hit you, if this has forced you to confront the truth about yourself, then subscribe right now and like this video, because what we are building here is not just knowledge, it is transformation. And calm under pressure is only the beginning. Until next time, carry yourself with presence, live with clarity, and remember this forever: calm is the ultimate game changer.